Hi everybody! Today let's talk about new construction and buying new versus buying a resale. Buying new, you can opt for a pre-sale or a completed home. A pre-sale will be when the home is not built yet or completed, so you're buying the lot and the floor plan. So one of the main advantages, of course, of buying new is that it's move-in ready. You don't have to worry about anything. The floor plans are typically very appealing because the builders work with large teams focusing on what the current buyers want and need. So the floor plans are really efficient, they have a nice flow, and they always have like the most trendy finishes. So that's a nice thing. Sometimes you can even pick some of the finishes if you're early enough in the process. You will be invited to the design studio and work with an interior designer to customize your home as much as possible. And the builders sometimes even gift you some upgrades at no additional cost, which is a nice incentive. So in terms of incentive, you can also opt to work with the builder's preferred lender. And these lenders are pretty well known to grant you some credit at closing, for instance, if you decide to work with them. So that's another way to get some financial advantages buying new. The builders are also providing a home warranty. So some builders will just stick to the Washington state legal minimum, which is 1 year of warranty, but most of the larger builders will provide you something more extensive with a 1 year on the craftsmanship, 2 years on plumbing and electrical, and up to 6 to 10 years on the structural. So these are the pros of buying new, but of course on the other side you have to be patient, because your home might not be ready before 6 or even 12 months, depending on the builder's timeline. There's no negotiation power of the timeline. The builder is in the driver's seat. You have to abide by his timeline. It's not really possible to change any wording on the builder's addendum, and therefore the lack of flexibility sometimes might be a little bit frustrating for a buyer. The earnest money deposit on a new construction is typically higher than on a resale. It's more around 5% than the typical 3%. And your financing contingency will not last till closing if you're buying a pre-sale. So typically it will last between 25 and 45 days. And if your home is not ready before 6 months, it will leave you during a chunk of time without any safety net. So you have to be pretty confident on the steadiness of your situation, because if for any reason you're not qualifying anymore for your loan after the end of the financing contingency, you will not get your earnest money back. So that's really something to keep in mind when you're buying a pre-sale. Also, the lot size might be smaller than it used to be 20 years ago, so be aware of that. So it was a very quick snapshot of the pros and cons of buying new construction, but if you want to dive into the details and chat further, every builder is different, so I'm available anytime to answer your questions. Have a nice week.